Hello, this is Wahid Ahmed and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the classification of animal kingdom in detail. Previously we have gone through a brief survey of the living organism kingdom in detail. Now we are moving towards the animal kingdom. In the previous tutorial we have discussed about the classification of plants. So today we are going to discuss in detail the classification of animals. Classification of animals, we know that there are two major categories of organism which has been identified in case of animals, which are vertebrates and invertebrates. We are going to discuss clearly the differences between them. So starting from first of all, we know that all the animals are contain the eukaryotic type of cell. What does that mean? That means they have the true nucleus, so they are eukaryotic, and they are not unicellular, they are multicellular. So in simple words, animals are eukaryotic multicellular organisms. And the second point of animal kingdom is that they exhibit heterotrophic ingestive nutrition. What does that mean? That means they feed themselves from the outside environment. For example, we feed on plants, we feed on different organisms, different animals feed on different type of food. They ingest the food, they do not produce them themselves. Autotrophic are those organisms which produce their food for themselves. Those are plants. We are heterotrophic. We consume the food. Food that is available outside our body. We do not produce ourselves. Third point is that differ from major other kingdoms in the capacity to be able to move. We know that plants cannot move. What is the reason behind them? They have rigid cell wall, but animal cells do not contain any cell wall. So the plant cannot move and the animals can move. This is the third characteristic of animal kingdom. The fourth characteristic of animal kingdom is that include millions of species occur in all types of habitat. So animals that have been produced, that have got in this world, that are surviving in this world, are actually surviving in different type of environment and different type of conditions. So every animal has the ability according to its own environment. So we humans, we know that we can survive in different cold environment, as we see that cold environment is in Canada and in some certain Russian countries. So Russian regions, they are cold. We are adapted to hot environment. Africans are adapted to hot environment. Our body is affected by temperature, but we are able to. So animals have the capacity to adjust to their environment. And third point is that, and there are millions of species, and number of species are still yet undiscovered in case of invertebrates. And fifth point is that animals exhibit great deal of variation in their form, size, lifestyle. Form, size, lifestyle means that they may have small body, they may have large body, they have different mode of environment, they have different mode of nutrition, they have different mode of reproduction, they have different mode of locomotion. So all the characteristics, these are the characteristics of general characteristics of animal kingdom. Moving forward to in detail the classification of animal diversity. At present there are 36 phylum of animal kingdom. Up till now 36 phylum of animal kingdom have been identified, but yet many more are to be identified, and yet many species are yet remain to be discovered, yet remain to be classified. So this phylum number is not actually the exact number, but with the passage of time this phylum number can be increased to 40, 50, so that's not fixed number, but up till now 36 phyla have been identified, and majority of them are invertebrates. Keep in mind that majority of them are invertebrates. Invertebrates are those organisms which do not have backbone, and this number is swelling. However, 9 major phyla are described. We are going to discuss in detail the 9 major phyla, which is the part of CSS PMS syllabus. The first phyla we are going to discuss is Sporifera. We know that some of the taxonomists placed protozoan in the animal kingdom, but protozoan belongs to prototic star, which we have discussed in the previous lecture. So first phyla from the animal kingdom is Sporifera, second is Cnidarians, Coelenterata, third is Platyhelminthes, fourth is Nematode, fifth is Mollusca, sixth is Annelida, seventh is Echinodermata, eighth is Arthropods, and ninth is Chordata. So we belong to the Chordata phylum, and which we are going to discuss in detail. Poriferans are actually sea animals. They are simple multicellular eukaryotic organisms that are present in the sea. So poriferians are, in simple words, are known as sponges because they have sponge-like body. And for example, there are calcareous substances and there are certain other substances which porifera animals are. And porifera animals is present in the deep oceans, and so they are the most simplest animals that exist in this world. Next, we are going to discuss about cnidarians and coelenterate. You have heard about corals, you have heard about jellyfish. These are actually cnidarians. Cnidarians is the second phylum. Keep one thing in mind, these are the simplest animals and these are the most complex animals. So as we move forward from the poriferans to the chordata, the body organization, the functional capacity, the physiology, all these things are with the passage of time are becoming complex and more complex, and finally we are the humans, the most evolved organism which have a complex body. So first of all, we have discussed about the poriferans. Now we are going to discuss about the cnidarians. I have given the example of jellyfish. Jellyfish is actually not a fish; it's a cnidarian, cynodid, corals producing animals. We know that Great Reef Barrier of Australian Great Reef Barrier and different barriers where corals are produced by these cnidarian animals. Next is platyhelminthes. These are actually important in the economy of livestock. Platyhelminthes are actually the platforms. For example, they are liver fluke which actually affect our livestock. The second point maybe here is that they have planaria, and planaria is another example. So this platyhelminthes is a platform. In simple words, they are platform. Examples we can quote here is liver fluke. Next we are going to discuss about nematodes. These are actually in scientific terms also called excalmanthaces. These are round worms. These are basically infect the livestock, and even it affect basically human organism, child who feed on soil. For example, who have a habit of feeding child, they are infected by pinworm diseases. Enterobacter vermicularis is a worm that infects the organism. Next is mollusca. Mollusca involves those freshwater mussels from which we found actually the pearls, which are the actually extinction of those freshwater mussels. Freshwater mussels, snails, these are example of the mollusca. And mollusca are basically aquatic in nature. Next is Annelida. Annelida is, we can quote example, these are the segmented organisms. In simple word, for example, earthworm, leech, they have segmented body. So these are the segmented organisms. They exhibit the property of metamerism, that each part has its complete body organ system. So Annelids. Next, moving towards Carnodons. The Carnodons are basically starfish is the example of sea anemones. These are example of Carnodermata. And from that, next we have orthopods. Orthopods are basically insects, crustaceans. These are the organisms which live in diverse array of environment. That could be sea, that could be land. Next is Chordata. And Chordata is the final one, and in which we will discuss in detail the 5 classes of chordata. And the 5 classes of chordata are Pisces, which means fishes, next is amphibians, next is reptilian, next is aves, next is mammals. So what are Pisces? Pisces are actually fishes. What are amphibians? Amphibians are actually the frog, we know that, salamanders. Reptilians, we know the simple living organism, snakes. Aves, birds. And mammals, with humans and those who have hair and produce milk are mammals. Okay, before moving towards vertebrates in detail, chordata or vertebrates, we will first of all discuss about the differences between vertebrates and invertebrates. The first 8 phyla here we have highlighted: poriferans, cnidarians, platyhelminthes, nematodes, mollusca, and Annelida, Echinoderm, Octopods. These are actually invertebrates. Invertebrates are those which do not have any backbone, while vertebrates have backbone and vertebral column. This is the first difference. Example, I have quaternary tail. These are frog fishes. Frog fishes, those have backbone. These are insects, those doesn't have backbone. Earthworms. From hair phylum, we can quote an example. Bivalves, those who do not have backbone. Internal skeleton. Invertebrates have soft internal skeleton, while vertebrates have strong internal skeleton that is made up of bones. And number of phyla are great. There are more than 30 in case of invertebrates and less. We have 3 to 4. We have Chordata phylum, which is classified in other classes. So we have 1 or 2 phylums. Number of vertebrates are comparatively less than invertebrates, and the final difference, movement of differences. Invertebrates as compared to vertebrates move slow. So these are the differences between vertebrates and vertebrates. Now moving forward to the differences between different types of vertebrates. I have mentioned we have 5 classes with the Pisces, amphibians, reptilians, aves, mammals. Okay, Pisces are fishes, so they live in aquatic environment. So they live in amphibians actually are animals which they spend their half of life in the water. They reproduce in water. They are actually aquatic plus they are land. So they form at the adult stage they spend their life at land. Next we are going to discuss about reptiles. We know that they spend most of their time on land, but there are some species of reptilians, some snakes which do live in aquatic environment. Aves land, and finally mammals, they are on land. Okay, exoskeleton we have epidermal, layer scales, and amphibians do not have actually exoskeleton. They have soft skin, no hair, nothing at all. Reptilians have hard skin like lizards, and snakes have shiny and hard skin on their body. Aves have feathers on their body, while mammals have hairs on their body. So respiratory organs, in case of fishes, gills. In case of amphibians, they have gills in the early stage of the living environment. They have lungs, and rest of them, reptilians, aves, mammals, they all have lungs. Okay, moving to the locomotive organisms, Pisces have fins. Okay, amphibians have actually limbs, and at early stage they do have some kind of shorter limbs for the moment. Reptilians do not have any limbs. They crawl through their body. Okay. And some of them, like snakes, do not have limbs. Some have limbs too, like lizard, they have limbs. Okay, aves have limbs for the locomotion, and they do have feathers. Further moving on, mammals have limbs. Okay, fishes have 2-chambered heart. So they have 2-chambered heart. Amphibians have 3-chambered. Reptilians have 3-chambered, while aves have 4-chambered heart, while mammals have 4-chambered heart. Mode of reproduction, basically they produce mode of reproduction. They have external mode of reproduction. They have actually fertilization is external. They do produce eggs. So eggs basically they are those which are viviparous, oviparous and viviparous. While reptilians produce eggs, aves produce eggs, and we give birth. Okay. Fertilization is external, while aves internal. They have internal. Mammals have internal fertilization. Okay, they are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded are those animals. Cold-blooded are those animals which basically have the environment similar to the have their body temperature similar to the environment. If the lizard is on sun, they have high heat temperature. If they are in the shadow, they have low body temperature. That's why snakes undergo hibernation. Actually, they are ectothermic. They are cold-blooded, while Aries are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded are those animals which have their own body temperature and they adjust their body according when the temperature of the external environment change, but they keep their body temperature constant. We have warm body temperature. Examples: fishes, frog, snake, birds, and fallen animals. Oh, this is the actual basic classification of animal diversity. In CSS 2019, there was a question regarding the mammals. Do mammals lay eggs? If they, where they do exist? The answer of this question is normally mammals do not lay eggs, but there are two mammals which do lay eggs, which are duck-billed platypus, and the second one is spiny anteater. So they are found in the Australian region or the New Zealand region. So this was a question in 2019. So be careful. We can have in the next lesson we can have a summary of those animals which actually have different characteristics or different mixture of different characteristics. So we can discuss in the next video program. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, do comment, share.